Hello and welcome back to Minecraft. In case you didn't see yesterday's Minecraft extra video, let me explain it again. I am taking a break this week from everything other than Minecraft because I really don't have time to do any recording most of the week. So instead of just rushing videos, I am going to, like I said, take a break and then use the weekend to prepare for next week. But with that said, I am still going to make Minecraft, and I am even going to make them a little more than usual, I guess, just to make up for there not being any other videos. So today we are going to be building a lab. I'm going to be building it here. I think that this was actually the original idea that I had planned for this area, and if not, well, then it is now. So I'm actually going to be building a lab kind of similar to what I did on Kira Castle server back in the day. With that said, I can't really remember how it looked, but I have kind of a similar idea. So I'm just gonna go with it and see what I can do. And I found a topic that I want to discuss today as well, and that topic is movies. For those of you who don't know, I am a really great movie fan. I actually saw my first Slovenian movie yesterday. So yeah, I'm a really great movie fan. I'm not going to talk about movies in general. I'm going to talk about how you find movies, because if your country is like mine and as the US in particular, you have very limited movie choices. In my country, if you look at what's mainstream, we're talking television, video rental, and uh, and and cinema. We have all the American blockbusters, a few of the other American movies, Danish movies, of course, a few other Scandinavian, and an occasional foreign languaged movie, other than English, of course, because English for me is a foreign language. But there's a lot of movies that we never hear about. So, and I actually enjoy watching a few of the smaller, little obscure movies that is kind of hard to find, that you never actually hear about. So I'm going to explain how I find these movies. But first, it's almost night time. I wanna go to sleep. I have most of what I need. I need stone, which we have here, cooked stone. I need glass, probably glass paint, so I think I have some glass here. I also know I have some glass paint in the workshop. We're gonna turn that into, you know, well, I'm gonna keep it as glass paint. I don't know what I was trying to say there. And we also need half slabs. It's actually going to be very similar to that thing. What's it called? It's called the blacksmith, but not exactly. I might actually change some. I am not really sure. But the vision I have is this. Oh, couldn't go through. So let's just start building. Well, like I said, I'm gonna talk about how to find movies. And I'm talking about how to find movies that you never heard about, foreign language movies, old movies, unknown movies, even movies about specific topics that you really want to see. I'm gonna start by doing this just. I don't know how far I want the building to be, but for now, let's just make it this length. So yeah, the easiest way to find movies is, of course, IMDb. IMDb has almost every movie, and when I say almost, it's because that's a dying zombie. The reason I say almost is because it doesn't actually have all movies. I've actually occasionally found movies elsewhere on the internet that was not on IMDb. So that was kind of weird. But yeah, IMDb is your basic movie place to go if you want to read about movies, find movies, and there are different ways to find movies. One way is to find a movie that you like, look it up on IMDb, then maybe look at the director, see what else he's made, or you can go with the whole movies, other movies that the people who have searched for. Let's just say Dirty Dancing. I don't know why I said Dirty Dancing. I don't even like Dirty Dancing, but let's just say that. Oh, I made a mistake here. I want to do that and do that. Here we go, because glass does not connect, unfortunately. I wish it did. I'll do this. But yeah, you can look up a movie. Let's choose another movie. Let's choose The Killer by John Woo, an amazing movie. So you wanna see, so you can go look at The Killer. You can look up what other movies the director have made. You can look up what other Chow Yun-fat, who plays the main role, see other movies he starred in. You can look at there's always, like, I think it's 12 movies, maybe more, that people who have searched for The Killer have also searched for. But unfortunately, this doesn't necessarily mean similar movies. I wish it did. I wish it would take some of the keywords from the same movies and say, oh, this movie has the same keywords. But unfortunately, like I said, it doesn't. But that is another search. There's the keyword search, which is kind of flawed, but it actually works in a lot of ways. So basically, you want to say, let's say you want to watch a movie about heroin. A movie where people do heroin. I don't know why, but maybe that interests you. So you search for the word heroin, and a lot of movies show up. You can then, I was about to say broaden the search, but narrow the search was the word I was looking for, by, for instance, taking there's a list of keywords related to heroin. It can be drug abuse, it could be violence, it might even be prostitution, because who knows, maybe there's a prostitute there. So you take the words you search for. You can also narrow it down by, for instance, do you want it to be a movie only feature movies, only TV movies, only TV shows, stuff like that. And you can change the order of the results to be, do you want it to be just the one that has the most votes, which would probably be which would of course be the one that is probably easiest to find, or do you want to be the highest ranked, which doesn't necessarily mean that it's a well-known movie. But those are some different options. Now, there's 3 things wrong with IMDb's keyword search. Actually, it's only one thing, but it's partly 3 things. I don't know what I'm talking about. The thing I'm talking about, is that it's not categorized. The keywords are not categorized, which means that there are no such thing as major keywords. There's no such thing as minor keywords, and the worst one, there's no such thing as spoiler keywords. So that means, if, for instance, if you search the word scorpion, this is a great example. One of the movies that will be highest ranked will be Predator, because in that movie there is a few second scene that includes a scorpion. So yeah, the movie has absolutely nothing to do with scorpions, but because there is a very, very short scene in which a guy finds a scorpion in his shoe, the movie will be listed. And it's, like I said, it's not listed how important that keyword is to that movie. So that's where it's kind of flawed. And the worst one, like I said, is the whole no spoilers. So there are certain words that you should be careful when searching for. Like for instance, schizophrenia. A lot of movies have the plot twist where it turns out at the end that the main character was actually schizophrenic. So yeah, IMDb does not discriminate in that case. So you will have spoilers. So be careful. But the best way to use IMDb as to find movies, you can't get out, is lists. Does this look good? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure if this looks good or not. Actually, instead of having, I think I'm going to do something a little different here. We'll see how that looks, just to give the building a little bit of color. But yeah, the lists on IMDb is of course user-made lists. So, and you basically do it the same way as the first thing I said. You go look for your favorite movie. Then you go into lists and maybe you see a lot of different lists that movie may be featured on, and you can check out those lists. And this is way too few. And you'll see that, and you can go look at the different lists, and you'll find out that some of these lists have very interesting movies. Even the ones that are just named movies I recommend or movies I've seen. Well, movies I've seen I would suggest staying away from because they are very, very broad. But like movies I recommend, best movies, or even specific lists like best zombie movies, best post-apocalyptic movies, best movies about drug abuse, both best movies from a certain country. And you can find some really, really nice lists. God damn it. Nice lists that way. So yeah, lists are definitely the best way to use IMDb. And with that said, I have lists. Some of you already knew I probably would start talking about that. I have a few lists on IMDb, which you can go look at. Some of them has recently been updated. And by recently, I'm talking about a few weeks ago. But yeah, you can watch them, and these are movies that I recommend watching. Some of my favorite movies. And but yeah, lists are a really good thing. Unfortunately, you cannot search lists on IMDb. So for instance, if you want to see a user list of best time travel movies, well, you have to first find a time travel movie on IMDb, then go into the list section, and then probably use your browser search to find a list only about time travel movies. Or you can use Google, because Google is in many ways a good place to search for movies as well. Not as specific, but you can actually search for lists, like for instance searching IMDb time travel list, and then only a few lists shows up. But it's better than nothing, I guess. Other things that you can do with IMDb is actually, in some cases, better at keyword search. Like, for instance, search for movies about vampires, movies about businessmen, and you will get, for instance, top 10 movies about vampires, top 15 movies about businessmen, and so on. But these lists are generally mostly they mostly is about I'm locked in. You mostly find the very, very common movie, unless you begin to write very specific things. But then, unfortunately, Google doesn't work anymore. Google is not good at finding very, very specific things. Google is good at finding either very broad things or things where you 100% know what you're searching for. Like, for instance, knowing the title of a movie. If you try searching about a movie you once saw starring a woman who has an illness and meets a man who sells cookies by the seashore while wearing an umbrella in his hair. Well, IMDb will come up with a really, really weird suggestions that has absolutely nothing to do with what you're searching for. But yeah. So that's a really great ways to find movies. You can also find some really great web pages to find specific movies. Like, for instance, there's a web page called badmovies.org, and these are, I think it's .org, I'm not sure. These will be movies like B movies, really, really bad movies, most of them in the category of so bad that they're good. Other pages you can go, like there's a site called Asian Horror Movies where you can, well, it's about Asian horror movies, and other sites, and these sites are often more specific, more detailed information about movies, and you find like random movies. Wow, I speak a lot. It's probably going to be some complaints. Oh, you talk too much. And I don't give a shit. Oh, not that much. But yeah, if you just want to, you can always just look at my list. I'll bet 75% of the movies is movies that most people have not seen. I'm not really much for the mainstream. I like the rare movie, not necessarily super rare, but the kind of movie that isn't shown in television 10 times a year. We had a Danish television channel who somehow bought the rights to show Twins, and they really used that right. I think they showed it like 7 or 8 times in 1 year. Twins! Starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's not really a great movie. But no, they bought the right for it. They had to show it. And that's basically how Danish television works. You can occasionally find great movies on Netflix. Netflix does have some rare movies, some movies that you won't find elsewhere. But a good place to actually go is YouTube. So, with that said, I am not 100% sure that it is completely legal, but there is a lot of movies on YouTube. A lot of rare movies that you've never heard of. There's a lot of bad movies, like the B movies and stuff like that, but there's also a lot of foreign movies that you probably can't even find on Netflix. And if you find them on places like Amazon or eBay, they're probably not going to be with English subtitles, but you can actually occasionally find movies with English subtitles on YouTube. And to be honest, I don't think it's illegal for you to watch a movie that's on YouTube. It's probably illegal to put a movie on YouTube unless it's a public domain. But like I said, I'm pretty sure that it's not. You can't be fined or punished or something like that for watching a movie on YouTube, because basically, if it's on YouTube, most people would think that, hey, it's public domain, it's open source. But that's not always the right answer. Wait, did that just grow or did I not knock it down? I don't know. But yeah, finding movies, like I said, can be hard. But when you get a little bit away from the mainstream cinema, it's actually very, very rewarding. You get some very interesting stories that isn't like... There's 2 of you now. I mean, movies where you don't know the whole plot after watching 10 minutes. Movies that doesn't rely on a lot of special effects and CGI. Movies that actually has some great acting instead of a lot of great one-liners. Because I feel like mainstream cinema has become just that. I mean, I'm a great big Marvel fan. But to be honest, I prefer reading the comics over the movies. The movies really aren't that great. They're great for random, mindless entertainment. But That's all they are. I don't even think they've done it that well. Like, for instance, Captain America seems to loose and making like puns and jokes. Captain America in the comics is like a really strict man with a stick up his butt, which is okay. That's the way he's supposed to be. He comes from a different age, and I don't really think they get that across in the movies. Iron Man is an alcoholic, a violent alcoholic. I mean, Tony Stark, of course, in the in the comic books. Not always, but he has some problems, and it's actually been a big deal in the comic books. It's not just something they've like talked about once or twice. It's actually been a big topic as the Iron Man character, and I really don't think they made that noticeable at all. And now they want to make a black Human Torch. A lot of people is like, oh, but what's wrong with making him black? I can tell you what's wrong with making him black. Imagine if they took a black character and made him white. Yeah, everybody would be all, oh no, you didn't. Wow, why did I call a black sassy woman in that? That wasn't intentional, but that's what they'll do. They will be all in people's face. Oh, you can't do that. No, they can't. I'm agree. And I actually think it's insulting to the black community, to black moviegoers, that you have to take a white character and make him black instead of using some of the many black characters that are already in Marvel Comics. That's not okay. How can you think that's okay? It's stupid. Yeah, I'm gonna make a movie about Abraham Lincoln. He's going to be black now because, we need more black people. Jesus fucking Christ. I think it's insulting. And it's all that social justice bullshit. I mean, are they going to turn more people into transvestites and gay as well? You know what, if you want to make a movie with a black man about a black man, then make a movie about a black man. Don't make a movie about a man who was once white and then became black. If you want to make a movie about gay people, make a movie about gay people. Don't take an already established character and make him gay. That doesn't work that way. It's stupid. It's not offensive. I don't care if a person is gay, black, transsexual, or whatever. But I think it's stupid when you take an already established character and then turn him into something that the original writer who created the character did not make him. It's not some kind of equality thing. Oh, but we need more black people. Yes, then make more black characters. There's plenty of black Marvel characters. Yes, there are not as many as there is white, I agree on that. But there's plenty of black. We have Luke Cage. We have Black Panther times two. There's both the main Black Panther and his sister. We have Storm of the X-Men. We have Charlotte Jones. We have Cecilia Rice, Bishop. I think Cardiac was black. I'm not really sure. Photon, I believe, is black. There's plenty of black characters. Choose one of those. Don't take a white character and make him black, especially not when he's supposed to be sister with a character you leave white. How the hell does that work? You can't just say, oh, we're going to make a Fantastic Four movie that has absolutely nothing to do with the Fantastic Four. If you want to make a movie that has nothing to do with the Fantastic Four, then make a movie that has nothing to do with the Fantastic Four. And don't call it the Fantastic Four. Johnny Storm and Sue Storm are siblings. They're both white. End of fucking story. And no, this has nothing to do with me hating black people, like so many people would call all these so-called social justice warriors. I mean, have you heard the name Social Justice Warrior? That sounds like some 12-year-old who wants to be a superhero but can't really find a to find a good name. Yeah, I'm gonna be the social justice warrior. Oh yeah, everybody's going to fear me when I correct them when they are being politically incorrect or when they're like talking up stereotypes. I'm going to be very harsh and write a really harsh letter, and then I'm gonna bully some people that are bullying others because that's the way it works, an eye for an eye. Jesus fucking Christ. Social warriors. You know who the social warriors are? The socialists that are out there battling for social justice. And I'm not talking this crappy new age wannabe social justice. I'm talking about socialism. I'm talking about freedom and liberty and, oh God. And for those of you who misinterpret that, I'm not talking about the so-called freedom and liberty and justice for all that the U.S. is talking about, because you know when that was last seen? Neither do I. Well, I started right away from the topic. We're talking about movies. But what I was trying to say is, a lot of the Hollywood movies are just mindless entertainment. A lot of them are completely bad. But there are some good ones that can be watched, like The Avengers and Spider-Man. I do love those movies, but they're not masterpieces. They're not a movie that you afterwards sit around and like discuss with your friends. It's a movie where it's a movie where you go, oh, did you see that scene? Oh, and remember when you did that and that and that? Yeah, I guess it's okay for kids. I do enjoy them because I have an inner kid within me. I meant, but I would rather have a movie where I can actually take something from it, some important message or some just sensory experience with a lot of great visuals to look at. And those are the kind of movies that I feel if you dig a little deeper and use some of the methods that I've talked about, and just check out some of the movies on my IMDb list, and you will be able to find some movies that you probably didn't even think existed. Because there are so much out there other than mainstream Hollywood, other than the occasional Asian movie that gets popular around the world, and then some American decides to remake it, and then the original Asian movie gets forgotten. But I made a lab. So this is going to be the lab. I don't know how it's going to look inside. We don't even have the brewing stand yet. It's in the nether. We might go to the nether in the next episode and see if I can find a nether fortress. I don't know. Does this look good? Maybe I should have something on top of it. I don't know. I might change it. I don't know. I think I need something to make it look a little different. Anyway, this is it for this episode, and because I'm taking a break from my other videos, there's no other videos than this. But remember, I will be back next Monday, with all the videos. And check out my movie list, as you can find them on my About page. And they will be updated regularly, because I watch a lot of movies, because I love movies. And don't be a social justice warrior. It's a stupid title to begin with. I mean, I'm the social justice warrior. Woohoo! It sounds so dumb. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow for more Minecraft. Bye.